Michelangelo said, there's a sculpture inside of every piece of marble. It's up to the sculptor to see it and to free it. So it doesn't matter what a person exhibits, it's up to me to see the David. And it's our imagination that can begin to manifest or bring out the David in the marble.
My breakup was hard because I loved her. It's hard to forgive myself.
Is what I'm doing with my life good enough, meaningful enough?
Who are you? What's the deeper truth?
Let's do it.
I'm so excited.
Hi.
I'm Natalie.
So nice to meet you.
How are you?
Mwah, mwah. I teach acting as the art of the empathetic imagination. I deeply believe that acting is really about imagined possibility. Can you tell me the intention that you've set? In other words, what possibility are you living from?
I'd like to learn how to be my own best friend.
And what do you see as the biggest obstacle to doing that?
I think for me it's a balance of doing and being. I've focused a lot of my life on doing and accomplishing, and I think when I'm not doing, I start to judge myself.
Iman,
Yes.
what's your intention? What is that desire, that wish, that yearning?
You know, it's funny, since you said that, what played in my mind was to be right. But not right in the sense of correct, but right in the sense of okay.
So acceptance of all aspects of yourself, as opposed to saying this one's wrong or this one shouldn't be. We're going to talk about that today. Yeah, how we can maybe reframe the word flaw into something more value creating, and how we can live our life more holistically in a more integrated way with other people by accepting all aspects of ourselves through accepting all aspects of others. Michelangelo said, there's a sculpture inside of every piece of marble. It's up to the sculptor to see it and to free it. So it doesn't matter what a person exhibits, it's up to me to see the David. And it's our imagination that can begin to manifest or bring out the David in the marble. Then everything after that is the action to manifest it. And that's what living intentionally is about. Imagination is limitless, right? We know Albert Einstein said that. Imagination encircles the world. You can't empathize with another human being unless you're willing to put yourself in their shoes. So I'm going to give you this story. This story is a mirror reflection of you. So through the words, you enter the world of imagined life. For the purposes of empathy and what it is to open our heart empathetically to a story, this is happening to you. And it's happening to you, not to you as a character, and not to you, Iman, personally, but to the human, empathetic you. So why don't you go ahead and share your story with us, and what I'd like you to do is say the words as written. The left brain can start going, I don't know what I'm saying, I'm blanking, right? Don't give in to that impulse, okay? Do your best to go back to the imagery and something will come in. But I do want you to do your best to use the world to say the language that's written. So go ahead and share your story about your brother.
I had a brother, you know, who was retarded, and there was a woman at the bakery. No one knew her real name, but she had this specialty donut that was made with Jemima syrup, and he liked that with pink frosting. And he used to sit outside the steps of her shop, and he'd get pink frosting all over his face. And I remember thinking, like, how is Mikey so cool? He doesn't care what anybody else thinks. One winter, it was really cold, and the donut shop shut down. And Sister Jemima, just as mysteriously as she was, just kind of disappeared, but Mikey would still go, and he'd sit on her steps, and I think it was just a part of his routine. And one day he just went missing. It wasn't until spring that we really found out what happened, and he had slipped into a stream or something, but he ended up down by the old bridge where some kids had kicked a shopping cart into the stream, I remember, and There he was, Mikey, under the rusted old shopping cart.
Your story.
My father's name was Memphis Lee Green. He had 50 good acres of farming land. One day, he went into Natchez to go pick up some seeds and fertilizer and told me, hey, you're the man of the house while I'm gone. And I always took a lot of pride when he told me that. Immediately, I was walking around like, I run the farm now. It was that day that those men came into the house. My mother was standing there cooking, and they grabbed her and took a hold of her, kind of like a man would do to a mule to make it do what you want.
What'd you do?
Well, my father had a knife for hunting. He had it hidden because I used to like to play with it, but I knew where he kept it. And I went and got it.
So it's just a great honor and pleasure to work with both of you today, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and I hope that this will help you as you continue on your journey.
I'd love a recommended reading list.
The first book that I assign everybody is Letters to a Young Poet. Do you know the book? In the first letter, this is a great poet named Rainier Maria Rilke, and in that first letter he says, you have asked others whether your verses are good. I beg you to give that up. Nobody can counsel you. Go into yourself and ask yourself, if it were denied that you could write, would you have to die? If the answer comes back a resounding yes, then order your life according to that necessity. Is my whole life a reflection of my resolve, my vow, my mission, my purpose in the world? How might this help you in setting your intention and becoming even more specific about the outcomes, living from your imagined possibility?
With soccer, when I was playing, I knew every day when I woke up that I must get better today at this sport that I love. And I'm excited for that feeling again.
You know, my I must is like, I must be better than this. The way that I can act sometimes, the way that I can think, the way that I behave, the way I can treat others, like I really must be better than this.
What if you just must love all parts of you instead of trying to get away from the bad, but just being like, I am the good and the bad?
I know that David's in there. It's just that I feel like I have to chip away at that marble block to see it.
Cool.
You know?
I'm craving a donut now, faux show.
Faux show. Donut time. I forgive myself for buying into the notion that I can be quick-tempered. I'm actually just a very passionate guy.